Hello, this is Jorge Oviedo, and this is my technical project for GIT 335 about the future of smartphones. Imagine you wake up in the morning and start getting ready to go to work. Pick up your smartphone and get ready to take off. There is not a worry on your mind regarding the charge of your phone. Heck, it doesn't even have a charging port anymore. You place it in your back pocket and get into your car, where you accidentally sit on it. The phone just bends, and then returns to its original shape. Once again, you do not worry it and your phone is completely fine. This scenario is not too far down the road, and these are only a few of the many future advancements of smartphones. But what is a smartphone? A smartphone, as defined by Oxford, is a mobile phone that performs many of the functions of a computer, typically having a touchscreen interface, internet access, and an operating system capable of running downloaded apps. The first smartphone was manufactured in 1992 by IBM. The device had more capabilities than its ancestors, features the first ever touchscreen, email, fax capabilities as well. It also had calendar and other widgets. Since then, the smartphone has only been improving. BlackBerry then came out and released a smartphone with multimedia capabilities, allowing them to play music. It had internet access and a full keyboard. Finally, Apple and Samsung entered the race in the smartphone industry, taking over the market and creating smartphones with way more memory, devices that were more fast, more powerful, could play music, had video streaming, as well as HD cameras. These are the smartphones we know today. Smartphones have impacted almost every aspect of human life. The impact has been on education, life, business. Impacts, however, have been both positive and negative. Businesses have been impacted positively with the ability to develop mobile applications for their customers and increase their reach as well as their sales potential. However, some businesses have been negatively impacted by decreasing their sales due to the flexibility of the smartphone, such is the case of the PC market. In education, the use of the internet has become a primary way to search for information. Students now have access to all the information on the internet anywhere they have access to their smartphone. Less negative impacts includes the distraction that having a multi-use device brings. There's just so many functionalities that can make it easy for a student to diverge into a different activity with their smartphone. The greatest impact comes in social life. People are now able to communicate easily through their smartphones, as well as navigating via GPS, ordering food, and making their daily activities easier. Nonetheless, although social life is greatly impacted positively, it also has its downsides, causing addiction to smartphones. People now check them every couple of minutes for updates on emails, text, or social media. Finally, we can actually speak about the future of smartphones. Throughout the years, smartphones have been evolving. Smartphones began with a complete keyboard, as you can observe, as well as a charging port, a headphone jack, and a port to communicate with other devices, usually a micro USB port. As time passed, companies got rid of the full keyboard and converted it into a touchscreen display. The port used to communicate with other devices was also scrapped, and most recently, the headphone jack has been removed from the most of the newer smartphones as well. It is only logical to assume that with wireless technology advancing as rapidly, the future generation of smartphones will have no more physical ports. Therefore, being able to carry all functions a current day smartphone can do without any cords or connections. One of the most talked advancements that could impact the smartphone industry is that of flexible displays. The concept has been around for a while, a couple of years, and it is not that far from being implemented into actual phones. As you can observe, Samsung has already begun developing prototypes for bendable and flexible displays. The reason this is a difficult accomplishment is because the current displays on phones are a, are a sandwich of different materials stacked onto each other. When creating a flexible display, the industry would have to completely redesign the process of manufacturing these screens since there would be different materials involved in the creation of such. However, the advantages of flexible display are the resistance against breaking and cracking screens, as well as the durability and adaptability. It's also a way to make devices more portable. In the same way that a wallet can be bent in order to be easily stored, a smartphone can be now bent in order to fit your pocket more easily and save some space. One great function that protects your security and the contents of your phone is ensuring that only you have access to it. Companies primarily develop this with an external button that could recognize your fingerprint, allowing you and only you to access your phone and information. However, as the desire to increase screen size and decrease unnecessary and unused space on a smartphone, developments in technology are being made in order to allow a fingerprint scanner inside the display. This way, users will not lose display size and will be able to securely lock their phones. Right now, the market is currently divided on whether this is the future of the market, since companies have adopted other forms of security and innovations and would be difficult to revert back. Nonetheless, big companies such as Samsung are still looking into implementing an embedded fingerprint scanner into their screens. One of the main issues with smartphones is their battery life and how much time it takes to charge, or being unable to plug the phone in and charge it when needed. Nonetheless, that is all going away soon. Companies have been developing technologies that would allow phones to be charged over the air through waves. Companies such as Energis have already developed and tested several working prototypes that allow you to charge your phone without any connections needed. They are planning to create a network that resembles Wi-Fi, but for battery life. They have near field, mid field, and far field prototypes that will allow for this concept to become a reality with a bit more development. Finally, one of the greatest advancements in the near future of smartphones is 5G. This is the next generation of mobile broadband. 5G is intended to replace and augment the power of 4G LTE that we currently have. The reason that this is a huge improvement is because companies are running out of LTE capacity in metropolitan cities, as you can see in the following chart. Users can experience lower than usual speeds as well as poor communication services at peak times. The ability to implement 5G capabilities into smartphones will allow companies to have huge amounts of spectrum into bands that have not been commercialized yet, meaning that in addition to being fast and having a longer reach, it will be completely unused, which will solve the problem that LTE is facing at the moment. All the advancements discussed in this presentation are in the near future, and some are very close to entering the market. Smartphones will continue to evolve and develop new technologies that we may even deem impossible at this very moment.